The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tiger Technician Hour with your host, Basil Chapman. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Basil Chapman.
Hi everyone, Basil Chapman, Tiger Technicians Hour on this 23rd day of May. My pleasure to be here, 11 o'clock till noon, Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. You can call in at 877-927-6648. Let's go to the numbers. First of all, let me say thank you to all the hosts, great programming, and hopefully we can keep that up and go all the way through the day. The Dow is at this point up 27 at 17,528. The S&P is up 56 cents at 2,052. Comp index is up 16 at 47.86. The VIX index is now at 1577. It's up 58 cents. It's putting a little pressure on the market. As long as it's in the high 15s, the low 16s is going to be selling pressure. When it gets down to the 1530s, you'll see it revert to buying pressure. Had a Chapman wave indication on Friday that said that there should be a rug pull in the Dow, that no matter where the futures are in the early morning or overnight, there should be a slide to negative, and we've had that. Now the day's really begun. So let's go on. We've got gold. Gold is down $4 at $12.49. Silver's down 0.08 at $16.44. Platinum's down 9, and you've got high-grade copper at 2.06, just stuck in that lower range. Crude oil is at 47.91. Down 50 cents. Bonds are about down 3 ticks at 164.05. Interestingly, the dollar is at 95.35, up 0.007. We've been long the dollar in my opening call for quite a while now. Let me show you something interesting here. DXY. So the dollar made its low on the 3rd of May at 91.92. Today, it doubled, triple topped in the last 3 days, bouncing to the 95.48 level. It's at 95.35 right now. But what's most important is that the MACD is at, really, it's just climbing and climbing. It's showing an expansion in the difference between the two moving averages, the slow and the fast. But the stochastics at 94%, that's very strong. And the weekly chart has made a single leg A. It hasn't gone above the 95.50 level. It has all week to do that, to continue leg A. I have a target that if there is some success in having the dollar rally a little bit further, then right here at $96, 95.95 to 96.10, that'll be the resistance area. We'll see what happens there if we can do it. Most importantly, let me move this away here. Most important is that you've got your second cup formation forming in the monthly chart. And if the dollar is even able to touch, let alone break above the 95.97 9-period exponential moving average in the monthly chart, that 9-period, that black line, that 9-period moving average, not only does it say that there's still internal strength in the dollar, but if there's even a move into the 96.50 in the rest of May, it'll suggest that there's a possibility there's another month, maybe a month and a half, of upside activity in the dollar index as it tries to get to a leg D above 100.51. I'm surmising that those would be the levels we look at. All it takes is a move this week below 95.20 and 94.20 to say, uh-oh, stalling, forget about that. Nothing to see here, folks, move along. But if I put it together with the gold, and you remember, I do this with the commodities, I do this with the various sectors within the commodities, I do this with the currencies, and I have to say that there's nothing to change my mind yet about this very strong red. I suppose I could do this. If I really wanted to make it a parallel line, I could do that. that would be parallel with all these lines here. I'm going to give it a little leeway because trend lines can sometimes be, you want to see them as parallel lines to make channels. I found that, you know what, let the line make its own noise. So I'm going to do this, and I'm just going to say that I'm going to be a little bit conservative for now in the gold contract. This is a continuous contract, but I am going to say that if gold trades, even if it's just one spike to the downside to the 1236.60 level, there's a real good chance that this line, red line's going to become resistance because the technicals are starting to fail. So did we go short gold? I preferred rather to stay with the long side of the dollar rather than to be playing with the gold short side. If there is a bounce from 1248 to the 1260 area and the dollar is holding well, I might consider that there's another move coming down, and then we might take another 4 weeks or 5 weeks of consolidation. So I just wanted to go through those things. Now, there are a couple of things that I also need to talk about. Let me just remind you that I have a webinar coming up, and if I can find it right here, this is the webinar information. I just made it straightforward. The consequences of a new market high. We haven't got to the high, but if we get to a high, what are the consequences? I have a ton of consequences, positive and negative. First will be the positive, then there'll be the negative, and then there'll be the very positive. And I'll be discussing that in great detail in my webinar coming up. Go to the front page of TFNN, and you'll see here the consequences of a new market high. Basil Chapman will be hosting a 90-minute live webinar with subscribers to his opening call newsletter on June the 2nd. That's at 6 o'clock to 7:30. And it's archived, of course. So if you can't make it, it'll still be there. Sign up now. Sign up now for his 30-day free trial to access this exclusive event. You've got to be a subscriber. It's really important. And if you want to subscribe early, I mean, we've been putting on trades for the last week or so. Or I might be speaking out of turn. I don't think I am, but I believe that all our shorts are making us money, and all our long positions are making us money at this time. So it's a great time to get a newsletter. So let's just move right into the right there. Okay. What I'm looking at here is the TLT is just in a trading range. It made a peak D-top in the daily chart, and that was a top at 132.32 made on the 13th of May. Let me just type that in, 132.32 May. I forgot what date I said, of May. Let's call it the 12th. I'll change it if I'm wrong. All right, so it's the 13th of May. and we've pulled back from 132. We went down to just under 129. Now we're at 130.41. I just think that the yields are in a trading range. So it was mentioned by one of our Dennis Fletch said, talking about the M1 money supply. Look at this chart of the M1 money supply. Leg A, B's, and leg C up. Every month has been higher, and it was a record in April. M1 is total money supply. I'll be back. We'll talk about that. I'm going to include it in my webinar. It's very important information. Thank you, Fletch. I'll be right back. Dow's up 32.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Basil takes your phone calls. Now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Hi, folks, we're back. So I want to talk about this. I got a call last night at about 8 o'clock. And it was from a very good friend. Out of the blue, he says, I just had 3 calls today. Family and friends. And each one said, are we in for a market crash? There's a guy who doesn't do anything in the stock market. Well, he doesn't personally do anything in the stock market. Businessman, he sold his business. He's retired now. I don't even know why they asked me. I'm asking you. I said, crash? Why would they suddenly call you about a crash? Must have been news somewhere. And then I thought about it, and then I said, oh, news about Soros shorting the SPY and all that. Must be now big public news. And now people are getting very nervous. So I said, Sam, I don't see anything right now. I do see later something like a crash it portends something kind of really bad. But I don't see that now at all. I think that, and not only that, if you think about it, I don't ever remember the public just being fully aware of a crash coming when it's come. 87 crash, nobody had a clue. Yep, there were a few people, Arch Crawford, a couple of people, Larry Pesavento, there were people that spoke about the crash. But majority of people didn't even know what a crash was. And those really big declines and the flash crash, nobody ever spoke about those in a timely fashion. So I'm thinking to myself, whoa, that is very unusual. If I use that as an indicator, I'd be really bullish. But anyway, I just wanted to pass it along because it's anecdotal. It could mean nothing. I think it actually means a lot. I think it means that there's a lot of nervousness out there in the lay public. There are more and more ads just to buy gold and forget about the stock market, or ads that say, how did you survive the last 3 market crashes, or whatever they want to call them, and scare the daylights out of people. I think something else is going to happen before we make the major top. How can we make a very quiet major top like this after 6.5 years, 6.25 years of a mega bull move, the greatest bull market in decades? without having the public really getting into something. Name me one sector that's on fire, where you go to a party and anywhere. You go to the bank, like in 2007 and 8, when I kept hearing these young people saying, "Oh yeah," and the mortgage will be coming through, and who had never bought a mortgage before. That was a tip-off right at the bank, just standing at the teller talking to friends. I'm beginning to hear that exact conversation in the last few months. So my thinking is there is no crash coming right now. Something very severe is going to happen to the entire world economy, but it's not going to happen just yet. And it'll happen when things look absolutely fantastic. So anyway, that's that. I wanted to get that out of the way because we like to talk about indicators and nuances, etc. That's my interpretation. So I just said, I don't see a crash coming. I do see we're in a sell mode, but I'm getting really, really close to flipping to the buy side. Excuse me. All right. Now I was asked about ANET, which is our Arista Networks, trading at 71.90, up $1.78. Leg C in the daily. Throat getting scratchy there. Leg C in the daily. And weekly is leg B. Monthly is just a brand new A after being an IPO back in, was it July of 2014? Yeah, June of 2014. Makes a round number low of 55, spirals to 94.84. Wow, very nice. 85% or something gain. And then it has a little bit of a tumble and it breaks to a new low and it goes down to 52.51. So trading right now at 71.90 says it's up, almost 20 points. So this is very good. I like it. I treat it as a trade. I think that was the question. Is it a longer term buy and hold? I would like to think it's going to be. It has all the characteristics that I like. All I can say is that for Jay and the Dan, yes, 72.06. I would start a position here, maybe put a 1-point stop. You can make it a 2-point stop if it's just a small position. I see the target here would be 73. If leg C becomes a peak C by tomorrow, that's one thing. But even tomorrow, if there's just one little nudge above 72.42, that'll suggest to me that we're looking at the 73s as a target for maybe a leg D. But in the meantime, it's acting very well. The MACD and stochastic are really good in the daily. The weekly is in a very short period of time going to 88% in the stochastic. The MACD is good. The monthly chart's going to take a long time to repair technically, but price-wise, if there's a move in by the third week of June above 79.44, 7 points away from where we are, that'll start a move into an official leg A, and that'll be the first time you've had from the lowest low in a single move, a move up that I can actually do some work with the technicals, because when it's an IPO, you don't have any background history. So if it did that and the MACD crossed positive and the stochastic went from 35% in the monthly to about 47 or maybe preferably 55, I'd say, hey, this is a really good looking stock. I'm going to put it down as something to watch. Now, just talking about that, there are a couple of stocks. Remember, I had a call last week and the call was on NVIDIA, and I said, I would not be short the stock. I think it's going higher. I don't know how much higher, but you got to be really careful. Well, it's still in leg B, brand new leg B. MACD's very strong. Stochastic's at 96.24. It's at 44.26, down 7 cents, made a new recovery high, all-time high. And in the daily, weekly chart is in leg C, very strong technicals, and monthly is still expanding and it's in leg D to the upside. Please be careful if you're still short. I said to you, I would rather be long than short. This can get away from you, so just be very careful, our caller who was short the stock. Now, here's the other thing. So it was NVIDIA. What was the other thing I said? Oh, NetEase. Was it NTES? Yeah, NetEase. Now it's making a peak D, maybe a leg D that may be a peak D today, but the MACD is still strong. The stochastic still strong. Weekly chart is good. These stocks that have been performing well in this environment, I don't think they're going to pull back very much in this particular point, because it seems like they've got NetEase is NETEASE, NetEase Inc. Symbols NTES, trading at 165.61 down $1.25. $1.20 actually, and it's actually looking very good. But at this price, I would definitely, if I was starting a brand new position, I would probably want to wait to see how it contests the 163, 158 area. If I was looking at a longer term trade, on a shorter term trade, I'd say, you know what, if it pulls back to 163 to 162 and then starts to move higher after that, I'd be interested in buying it as a trade. I'll be back. Dow's up 20, S&P's up 26 cents. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about my webinar coming up as soon as we get back.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi, folks. So it was very interesting. See, here I am all weekend taking every bit of free moment I could to be working on my webinar, because this webinar is going to probably be one of the most compactful that I've done in years. It's going to embrace the technicals, the fundamentals, politics, economics, just everything. It's an hour and a half. I'm just going to chug right along. And there I am working away Sunday morning, and weekends, because I just like to have that quiet time, is when I weekend days, I don't look at any TV at all, not even sports. Occasionally I'll look at some sports, but mostly I'm just quietly working away, have some music on. And I'm working on the whole thing about the skyscrapers. And I'm busy, typing away. And I thought, let me put something on. Just my wife was actually at work, and she, so it was quiet. And I thought, okay, let me just put entertainment. And I'm flicking, channel changing, and I get this channel, and it sounded interesting. I'm not even sure what it was. And then out of the blue, the programming comes on, and I look and I see skyscrapers. I say skyscrapers. Hey, I'm typing about skyscrapers right now. What do? They talk about these skyscrapers. It was interesting. Could have been a lot better, but I enjoyed the segment. I think someone told me, and then very soon after that, I started getting some emails from either subscribers or TFNNers who know that I'm. For decades, I've been involved in looking at skyscrapers, talking about them as most often being the sign that you look for a major top. Just, you remember, I made a big deal about it when we were on air with the Burj Dubai that had to change its name in Dubai, the world's tallest building, a week before because they had a financial crash. They actually changed it to Khalifa, and it's just very interesting how these things come about. Why? Because I call it man's icon to his ego. And of course, at some point, it'll be quite a surprise now if one of the richest women in the world decide to build that, but mostly it's been men. No, it hasn't mostly. There's only been men that have built the world's tallest skyscrapers. And I'm anticipating that we're already starting to see here in the United States, because I thought the United States would lag badly. Why would they build another skyscraper of the Twin Towers tragedy? But it doesn't work that way. It's just an ego thing. So I think that we must expect that that's going to be one of the signs that I look for. I've already had, this is the coda. We're already into the coda. 35 to 37 new skyscrapers in Manhattan are going to be built over the coming 2 years, starting in 2000 now, into 2017, actually just over 2 years. One of the icons that I've treated as something I've waited decades for them to announce the building of a whole new series of buildings here in the Boston area is already underway. The building's already up. It's going to be open next year in 2017. That coincides with the same thing that happened to that particular institution in 1929. And a whole bunch of things are going on that are just totally fascinating in terms of the next era. This is the skyscrapers and all that sometimes aren't for us. They're for the next era, the new buildings, the new dorms. I'm going to be talking about all these institutions from Boston College to Boston University to University of Massachusetts, just as here in the local area, but you can go around the country. I'm even hearing about it around the world. New buildings and art galleries, art institutions are expanding everywhere. Talk about no money. Every council's trying to squeeze everyone for as much taxes. And then what do we get? We get these monster buildings, and the cities themselves are building incredible things. So this fits so much the late 20s. Now, does it have to mean that we're going to go into a depression? Things have changed in that regard. The depression was a multifaceted instrument. It did not come about just because you had your major market crash on September the 2nd, when the Dow was at 386 in 1929, the Labor Day weekend. No, we got the drought. You could name many things that were absolutely complicit in creating the terrible circumstances. So, but it could be real tough times. And I'm going to talk about politics. I'm going to talk about the irony of what's going on now, the parallel between the 3 terms of Republicans in the 1920s, and we've had 2 terms of Democrats. Will we get a 3rd term Democrat, or is there something else that's going to happen? I'm going to talk about this irony of President Obama, who never talks about the stock market, and this is one of the greatest bull markets we've had. And my joke, you remember a year ago, my joke was, right at this time, I was speaking about the irony of what happens in markets, that when you think, oh, great, everything's just absolutely fantastic as it was January the 14th of 2000, just couldn't get better. Actually, that's when you've reached your optimum level. So we haven't quite got to that point. And at the same time, I'm looking at this and saying, well, if we had one of the greatest bull markets, I'm talking about stock market, I'm not talking economy, I'm talking stock market, during a president's tenure, when this particular president never spoke about the never speaks about the stock market, or is reluctant to even talk about the stock market, doesn't mean that we're going to have, what if Bernie Sanders gets in? Is the Dow going to go to 35,000? Anybody think about that? Okay, well, to be serious now, I'm going to be talking about the different, it's called the consequences of a new all-time high, and I believe we will make a new all-time high. And I would not be surprised if it's this summer. So that's going to be something that to look forward to. Well, how do you treat it? What stocks? What do you do with portfolios? What happens if we really get a massive acceleration, one of those 2 months to 6 weeks acceleration where markets just take off like they did from 2000 January to March of 2000? You know, these are all things that we need to consider. What if we break down? What if in 3 weeks' time, I'm looking at the Dow and I'm saying, I never thought we'd get to 15,730 or whatever it is, okay? So these are very important things that are going on right now. Questions that I got, let's see, FCX, Sarah asked about FCX, here we go. FCX, Freeport McMoran is a copper and mining minerals actually company. It's trading at 11.17, up 9 cents. It's trying to make a little U-turn here. It has three exact trend line hits at the bottom, slightly lower lows, and the tops have got the same sort of thing. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw it in right now and tell you exactly what I'm looking at. I can just tell you this. If the dollar keeps on rallying, then the commodities, I think, have limited upside. Now I've got to change mice. It's actually mouse. They are. If the commodities should have limited upside, but I'm looking at the charts over the weekend, the thinking has to be that if the commodities are in a new starter phase for an intermediate term all year rally, then we've got to look at the market in a slightly different way. So Freeport McMoran, what about it? I'm looking at it and I think it's acting quite nicely. I'd be much more impressed if it starts to trade in the 12s. That'll be really bullish. I'll be right back. Basil Chapman, Target Technicians out.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date active trading information that will will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. Until recently, it was almost impossible for the average investor to hedge against currency risk in Europe or Japan. For a bold trade on Europe or Japan that protects against moves in currency, trade HEGE or HEGJ, 2 times currency hedged leveraged ETFs from Direction Investments. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Hi, folks, we're back. So I completely forgot to show the 10-minute chart, which I always like to do. You see this made a peak D right there, the 10-minute chart, right at that trend line, and it becomes 2052.75 is the resistance to 2050. That's in the larger context of the 10-minute chart, but it's just about to take out the low of 2046.25 made at 10 o'clock this morning. If it does that, you've got an arch formation that says, oops, be a little careful. So I just wanted to clear something up right now. I don't want to make it sound like I'm so bullish that everything's going to go up. I wanted to talk about where we are right now. From opening call subscribers, we are short. We're short the Dow. We're short in small context as a core position. No, 1/3 context in a core position. And then 1/3 the 300% short. So that's there. We've got a number of shorts. We've taken profits in some of the shorts. We wanted to add to our shorts. One particular short today just missed it, $250-something stock, missed it by a couple of cents on Friday. Tried to get the same price today. There's no rush. I don't think for any long side and short side right now, I don't think there's a rush to do things. I think you need to take your time, look at what you want to do. Don't overtrade. In fact, this is a great time to be under trading. Just keep your capital. Make sure you got your capital. You're going to be sort of nice position plays coming up soon. So I am expecting that we're getting closer and closer to a test of this neckline. Oh, I didn't even talk about it today. This neckline right here. This is the 120-minute chart. Look how perfectly this one looks right there. So this is where things are going to change. Either right here, left side, right side price time, which we've got until 4 o'clock on the 23rd. That's today, to take out the support level at the Dow 17,000. At this point, it's at 17,420, but really the level is 17,400 to 17,000. It did take it out at 17,331 on Thursday, but the neckline, it needs to close below. I would say the neckline really comes into force, the shoulder, head, shoulder, Dow 120-minute chart. If instead of rallying above leg B to start leg C above 17,571, must be today. If that instead we start to see selling towards the close, I would say that by Wednesday, if the Dow is under 17,300, something's going on here that's going to be a lot deeper, and that we will go down to not 1-to-1 to the downside. My next level of support is just real close, 17,230s, 17,180, a lot of support there. That's the way I'm looking at it. A breakout to the upside says we've done with this pattern, we can start moving higher. Most importantly, if you're looking at the daily chart, if I can find it. Yep, the daily chart right there. There's the 20-period moving average. We're under it. None of these rallies were short. None of these rallies failed that came off the trend line low. They might have consolidated, but they were big bars, except for that little one over there. So this is different. Something's going on in this particular pattern that says it's at this point it's a little shorter. It's gone a little deeper. It's gone a little bit deeper in the channel degree of angle to the downside. So I'm going to stay short for now. I'm going to try to have patience. I want to see how we come out of it. And going to the long side, I think you've got time, because even if you go to the long side, you can bounce above the 20-period moving average of 17,650 and then still come back down. That's been the tradition of this pattern that we're replicating. That's our template for now. Okay, now enough with that. And let's go to the questions. So Sarah asked about Freeport McMoran. I'm just going to say that it is what wave count. It's a little difficult to say because it's chop, chop, chop. This is A minus, A minus, A minus. Now this is brand new leg A. To really have credence, I'm saying that Freeport McMoran has to, I want to see it trading in the 12s, and then I'll be getting, if you want to nibble on it right now, that's fine. But it's a little tricky because it's got the pattern of lower lows and lower highs. So that's the daily. Basically, what I've said, though, is that at peak D in the weekly, you can expect, and a very single leg A up in the monthly, you can expect some sideways consolidation. So I don't think you need to rush into Freeport McMoran FCX. Give it a little time. I'd rather be trading on the upside with higher highs and higher lows than catching a falling knife. Okay, and the question on X, which is U.S. Steel. Also, just give it time. Nice candle today, starting an attempt to move higher. SLX, that's what it was. SLX. I just know my symbols so well, but sometimes the letters get mixed up. And I thought, wait, I was trying to find it earlier on. What is the silver ETF that tracks the silver stocks? It's SLX, trading at 24.58, up 32 cents. Now, as I see it, this is that Eiffel Tower that goes straight up, straight down like a leg A, like a single leg A, but it has that pattern. I call it the Eiffel Tower, and it looks like that's on the side, on the left side, the right side. There isn't a price time match because you have to take it to the low, and I would give it, I would say by the 27th, by Wednesday or Thursday, that's by about Thursday. Let's see where it is, because if SLX is moving from 24.58 into the 24.60s, that's a really positive sign for silver. If in fact it's broken down and it's under 23, it's at 24.58. Underneath a point lower, I have to watch it real closely. No, more than a point and a half lower. Okay, it needs time. That's what I'm thinking. So that's that. Julie, SRO, that RB. I'm going to go to the M contract again. It's probably moved along. RB is the, what is it again? New York Harbor blend stock. Yeah, it's holding very well. Remember I said crude oil, unlike what I'm looking at in the dollar and gold, I think that the crude oil is independently moving higher. I like it. Can we wait for 42 to get long? USO. Whoa, USO. USO is trading 11.59. This is a leg C, a peak C at 11.58. At the moment, it made a high of 12, round number 12, on the 18th of May. It's pulling back. I think it's holding very well. I think USO technically is looking strong enough that I think it's going to go higher. You can nibble on it now and maybe add a position at 11.25. Don't get too carried away, small and small. But if it starts to take out 11.86, if it goes to 11.87, even though you're only talking 12 or 13 cents, I would then add to that position for a strong leg D. Why? Because if oil goes to 12.20-ish, then the magnet of 12.42 on the 200-period moving average kicks in. And if it starts to fail and goes under 11.20, then you just have to say, okay, now I have to be somewhat careful. At the moment, the technicals look good enough that it's either going to hold well or it's going to try to have one push to the upside, which would coincide with one little move down in the dollar as it makes either this leg D or it pulls back waiting to get to leg D. Just could coincide with a day or so of rest in the dollar. I hope that helps you. Real quickly, we're looking at... so I do want to thank all of those that sent, all of you that sent me notes about that show on Sunday morning. It was such a surprise. I mean, I never look at those shows. I got tired years and years ago of Meet the Press and all that stuff. It's nothing that you ever know. There's no news there. S&P made 52-week closing high. Stats show last time was 95. Usually get rebound unless you get 2008 type scenario. Adam says before crash of 87, Marty Spike came on Wall Street Week with Lewis Ruckhauser. Paul Tudor Jones were bearish. I saw that. I've always told that funny story. Well, it wasn't such a funny story, but it was a story of me at a mall looking up at the screen while my family were out there looking at shops and stuff. I was standing there looking at a screen, listening to Lewis Ruckhauser, and I remember March saying, "Oh, Lois, I don't want to say this, but I think there might be a crash on Monday." I'll be back. Basil Chapman, Dow's up 1.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Learn how to trade options with swim lessons. Brought to you by TD Ameritrade. Think or swim. Next on TFNN.
Hi, folks. We're back. We're back, and we're looking at a Dow Unch. S&P's down 3. Gotta finish up this down move, and then we can start looking at some other things. But in the meantime, back at the ranch, OIH. So here's the question. Bill says WLL, rig, OIH, short trade, how long or how far down? Is that the question? Can it go? Okay. Remember, we've got to separate crude oil from the oil service company. They don't always go in the same direction. They just have different dynamics that are going on. So OIH is trading at 26.90. It's down 30 cents. As I say, the market vectors oil services ETF, leg A in the monthly chart, given a chunk back. The weekly chart, if I can just, this mouse has a mind of its own. All right. Had a funny story about mice over the weekend. Someone doing research. Okay, this is a peak C in the weekly chart of the OIH, and this pullback is way deeper than it should be. It might need a little more time before it can actually get legs to go to the 28s. But in the meantime, would I short it? The stochastic's flat. The MACD's not good. I think the upside's limited. But sometimes a flat stochastic doesn't mean to say that it's going to go down deeper. It could just say that the upside's very limited, but the downside might have a cushion. So let's look at rig, because rig would be the one. If I was going to do any, it's already down like this. Well, rigging is a down, lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and lower highs. At 893, I'm always loath to short stocks in the single digits. I mean, all it needs is just any news thing, and you can see yourself down 30%, and you have to cover it. I'm not going to say short. I am going to say Rick looks like it wants to test the 850. It's at 895. That's rig is the Transocean Limited. I think it could test the. Definitely. If it breaks 860 in the next 2 days, then 850 to 840 will be key support. The low, of course, is 834. We'll see if it gets to the low, but sometimes they go towards the low, but they don't touch the low. In the meantime, as a short, no. I'd be looking at something. I'd look at something like Schlumberger. Look at that. That gave back its gains today. In other words, something in the 74 area, I'd be looking at Schlumberger. But I wouldn't even short. I don't think I'd be shorting them right now. There are other areas that are really much better. In my opening call, we've got some areas that we've looked at that have been working quite nicely. So that's what I'd be looking at. All right, we're about to wrap up, and I do want to do a couple of things right now. I just want to go back to this. Remember, go to the front page of TFNN for free. I mean, it's a 30-day free trial. You can check out my opening call, The Consequences of a New Market High. The implication is, I think there's going to be a new all-time high. The implications are immense as to what happens in my work if there is. I'm going to give you a little hint right now. As we go out, look at this chart. YM. This is the Dow futures contract. It made an all-time high in April. The Dow didn't, but the futures did. Yeah, how about that? Okay, VIX index, as we're looking at this market, VIX index, I'm not sure where it is right this second. It's trading at 1577. It's only up 50. Oh, I shouldn't say only. It's up 57 cents. If there is a turnaround today to go higher, you'll see this VIX should drop quite sharply. If it stays in this area, up 58 cents, up 40 cents, and increases to up 60 to 70 cents by the end of the day, the selling will continue for another couple of days. So just be careful here. I don't think you need to be doing a rushing to buy or sell. You could be just taking it easy. Take a walk. That's what I'm recommending. But we have positions that seem to be working nicely. Oh, the position we missed is now down 4 points almost from the way we would have got it on Friday. Hey, that's okay. Plenty of others. I'll be back tomorrow. So, as I say, check out my webinar coming up a week from Thursday night. Should be very interesting. I'll be back tomorrow, and stay tuned for your swimming lessons. You've got everybody's back here. You've got Steve, you've got Dave, you've got everyone.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
This is TFNN.